The Economist.
Marine Le Pen's bad day in court. Ill-suited sentence. France's hard-right leader should be punished, but allowed to run for president.
Between 2004 and 2016, Marine Le Pen diverted European Union funds to pay her party's political staff, falsely claiming that they were working as assistants to its deputies in the European Parliament. Thus ruled a court in Paris on March 31st, sentencing Ms. Le Pen and 23 other officials of her hard-right National Rally, or RN, party to a mix of fines, prison terms and bans from campaigning. The decision has landed in French politics like a bomb, owing to one aspect of Ms. Le Pen's sentence. She is barred for 5 years from running for office with immediate effect. That would include the presidential election in 2027, in which she is the frontrunner. The RN's leader and her allies have attacked the ruling as a political stitch-up. That claim is false and undermines faith in the rule of law. There is no reason to think the verdict was improper. Even so, it risks undermining the perceived legitimacy of the next election by depriving many voters of their preferred candidate. That is bad for France. If an appeals court can shorten the ban and allow her to run in 2027, it should. Ms. Le Pen's suspension raises two questions. First, in what circumstances should a democracy disqualify a candidate? Ms. Le Pen's sentence stems in part from a tough law France passed in 2016 to overcome its long-standing leniency towards corrupt politicians, including Jacques Chirac, an ex-president. That law permits banning candidates from running for political office with immediate effect. Ms. Le Pen supported the reform, and it is rich for her to claim that its penalties, when applied to her, are themselves an assault on democracy. Most countries have laws that can block candidates, but mainly for grave attacks on democracy itself. After the Maidan Revolution, Ukraine barred officials of Viktor Yanukovych's corrupt Russian-backed government, and after its civil war, America banned those who had taken part in insurrection. Jair Bolsonaro, Brazil's ex-president, was disqualified for lying about the integrity of the voting system that unseated him in 2022. He is also accused of attempting a coup. The crimes of which Ms. Le Pen has been convicted are serious, but not of the same order, and insufficient grounds for stopping French voters from judging for themselves who should get their vote. By creating a mechanism that politicians might be thought to have co-opted, the law encourages talk of conspiracy, especially if, like Ms. Le Pen, the barred politician belongs to a party founded upon a suspicion of the elite. The second issue is the relationship between politics and the judiciary. The rule of law demands that politicians be treated like other citizens. When it comes to deciding guilt, that is straightforward, but the notion that sentences should take no account of their consequences for politics or governance is misguided. The courts should and do weigh a range of factors, such as their impact on institutions, including elections. In New York, in January, Donald Trump received no punishment for the felonies of which he had been convicted because the American people were deemed to have a right to an unencumbered president. With Ms. Le Pen, the French court leaned the other way, imposing a longer sentence because of the harm she might do in high office. The danger of aggressive sentences for politicians is that courts will be seen as partisan. The system relies on citizens accepting verdicts with which they disagree. Elections are supposed to generate consent for a new government. A poll after Ms. Le Pen's conviction found 54% of French people thought she was treated like any other accused, a narrow margin of confidence in judicial independence. Among RN voters, 89% thought she was singled out for political reasons. Supporters of the court's sentence would note that mistrust of France's judiciary is mostly the fault of Ms. Le Pen and her party. The RN has spent decades spreading conspiratorial allegations that France is ruled by a nebulous, self-dealing elite which uses its control of institutions to keep them out of power. Ms. Le Pen received messages of support not just from the European hard right. Hungary's Viktor Orban tweeted, "Je suis Marine," but also from France's hard left. Jean-Luc Mélenchon, leader of the unsubmissive France Party, said the people should decide the fate of elected politicians. Ms. Le Pen should indeed be able to stand in 2027. Her appeal would ordinarily take up to 2 years to reach trial, but the Court of Appeal has wisely said that it will be decided by the summer of 2026. The court should shorten her suspension. Other defendants got as little as a year, allowing her to re-enter the contest before the election. Éric Ciotti, a French right-wing MP with ties to Ms. Le Pen, wants legislation to end immediate pre-appeal suspensions. If it were adopted before the appeal is heard, Ms. Le Pen might be able to run. François Bayrou, the Prime Minister, says he is open to debating the proposal. In any event, Ms. Le Pen will not get off easily. She must serve 2 years wearing an electronic tag, plus a 2-year suspended sentence, and pay a heavy fine. That seems right. The aim should be to punish the offender without also punishing French democracy.